Welcome to the Clutch Buckets Podcast. My name is Josh Tyson.
And I'm Kyle Spence.
Their profession, our passion, your court. Check ball.
Check
What's
ball,
up, Kyle?
Tyson. So I should have
Yes,
been
sir.
donning some Celtics gear right now because
Come
you know
on,
I'm
slack
hyped.
it.
I'm slacking. I wasn't prepared.
Turn
I was in
up.
other meetings
Where
before
the
I came
confetti?
here, but it's okay. I'm gonna have some confetti come in the background of this video as soon as
Cheers.
I get this in post. But what I wanted to talk about first, of course, is my Boston Celtics,
How
the
about them
Boston
boys?
Celtics,
How
the
about
Boston
them
Celtics
boys?
that are prepared to win banner number 18, beating the Indiana Pacers
Yes,
105 to
sir.
102 and sweeping the series 4-0,
Mm,
not giving Indiana any chance to breathe whatsoever.
mm-mm,
And
mm-mm.
we did
No
that
hope.
as a concerted effort. But
Mm.
before I jump into all of my thoughts about it, Tyson, I want to hear yours. What's going on? What did you see under there?
Man, I'm so proud of y'all, man. Usually when it
Yes.
comes to these type of situations, man, you all run away from finishing the project, man. But you all crushed the every bit of hope. Y'all made sure there was no light in the
Mm,
darkness, man. And I'm proud of y'all because usually stepping up. And this is what I truly believe is the Jew effect. Because
mm,
coming down the clutch, he's handling the ball now and he's being more aggressive. But what impresses me more are the defensive stops. Defensive
yes.
stops, but also the intelligence on you all's end with the offense. And if you notice this time, you all move the ball around, man,
Hmm.
versus just one on one. Okay, you get over here, I get over here. Because generally, when you all do that, the defense, bro, they can converge because they know
Yep.
who's gonna get the ball. And most likely the other person, they're not gonna be that ready, or it's gonna be a half pass that barely gets there, that's not gonna set up the right shot. But I'm proud of y'all, man. Y'all did y'all thing, man. Returned to the finals for the second time in 3 years. But you know, the Pacers, man, they're shooting themselves in the foot, man. They were down, they were up again late in the fourth quarter. They
Hmm.
went 0 for 4 from the field, and the turnovers late in the game again, man. So, but I mean, those you could say it's not having the point guard, Halliburton, but he did the same thing in the game before. So I think
Right.
that's just inexperience, man.
Well, inexperience or what, it doesn't matter. We won. That's all
We
that
won.
matters.
That's what
We
matters.
won. That's all that matters. That's
Don't
all I
matter what the
care
rock
about,
says.
dude. I mean, if I look at the stats, it was a really close game,
Yeah,
obviously. We
yeah.
had 11 turnovers, they had 14 turnovers. We had
Hmm.
pretty close in free throw attempts. We had pretty close in field goal percentage.
Yeah.
Everything was actually going slightly Indiana's way. It's just really coming down to that fourth quarter execution where I don't see them having that experience and know-how and a floor general to be able to carry
Hmm.
them in those
Hmm.
situations. So yes, they sorely miss Halliburton, but we cannot say that and then say that that was it. The Indiana Pacers are absolutely done
Yeah.
because these others, quote unquote others, stepped up. Andrew Nemhart is
How
out
about
here
that
again,
boy?
balling with 24 points. He
He
was
said I'm coming
50%
for
from the
that
three-point
contract.
line. Dude, he was more than 50% from field goal, 50% from free throw line.
Yes.
Neesmith had 14 points. Come on.
Yes, bro. All
Siakam almost
balling
had
out.
20 points again. This dude, I think, had 24 points last game, too. These guys have been stepping up. Not only them, but their bench was able to produce about 34 points by themselves.
You
So it
gotta
was a
salute him,
concerted
man.
effort. I have to do. What
Got
else am I
to.
supposed to do?
I
Meanwhile,
mean,
our bench, we only got 10 points, Tyson.
they swinging as they're going down. And that's all respect. I respect them to the fullest, man. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with moving forward.
Right.
Of course they got to work on that inexperience, man, especially those late turnovers. But again, that's all about bringing in veteran leader. I think that's the only piece that they really need moving forward. But yo, can we digress to kudos out to the real superstar, y'all squad, man. That boy Brown has
Jalen
been
Brown.
efficient. And that's something
Yes.
we've never been able to talk about him in previous years.
Yes.
My boy
Yes.
was out here, man, balling. What he had? 11
Yes.
for 22, 29 points, especially clutch. How clutch has he been in this series? MVP of this series by far. What,
Rightfully so.
2 minutes left? He's the one who tied the game. Man, did,
Yes.
did you see that, man? That pivot, fake. Up and
Up and
through. Oh,
under.
man,
Come on
come
now.
on, man.
He
Boy,
was
nasty out there,
rightfully the
baby.
MVP. Now, I don't know how Jason Tatum feels about it. Honestly, I've kind of seen some things suggesting that he wasn't necessarily,
Have you now?
he was apathetic. He did some
Mm,
all lives matter and type stuff like,
mm.
this award was for the team, everybody on the team, really appreciate this award as opposed to kind of honing in on JB at that point. And I think I can understand it because Jason Tatum did actually produce in this series. He had more than 30 points he averaged. He had, I think, a better field goal percentage. All of these
Then
things
Brown?
sound good. Yeah, Dan Brown. But Tyson, this is
Mm,
my issue. Just because you have better numbers don't mean you are the better impact player on the court.
talk about
Jalen Brown was, this is the Clutch Buckets podcast. We talk about clutch
it.
bucket
Come
effort,
on, man.
and Jalen Brown was clutch, absolutely
All
clutch.
series
Even
long.
after he missed, they took away the three-point shot that he hit at the end of the time winding down on the shot clock. He
Hmm.
came right back down after the
Right back.
timeout and just put it back. And
I
he said,
got this.
okay, if you
It's all
take that
good.
one away, sure, let
I
me
got it
add this
again. I'm
back for
straight.
you. Don't even worry
Nah,
about it.
don't even write up
Come
a
on.
play. I got it. I got it.
Jalen Brown was absolutely the best player in this series. I
By
don't
far.
look to Jason Tatum
By
for
far.
that. So he deserves that award.
Yeah.
The runner
Um,
up, of course, would be Tatum, but
all day.
JB was killing it.
Yeah. All day. And by the way, what people really don't even talk about is Jalen Brown's defense.
Yes.
Man has been locked down in clutch situations like the 3 games ago when he
Hmm.
snatched that ball away from Siakam
Yeah.
in a man tough situation because Siakam was going straight up. But
Hmm.
Jalen Brown has been locked down as a
Yes.
defender, man. Of course, he doesn't get as many steals and blocks as others, but nobody's taking him 1-on-1. Nobody's brushing past him, driving to the basket. I mean, this
Hmm.
dude, I mean, think about what he did on McConnell. I think that was 2 games ago. McConnell had dusted him. No, that was Nimhart. Nimhart had dusted him. Yeah, I think this was like late fourth quarter. Gotten
Yeah.
past him. Jalen Brown recovered, smacked
Hit the
that thing right
ball,
out of
yep,
bounds,
off the
man. Yeah.
backboard.
So I've been looking at his defense like this dude, both sides of the ball. He is, I believe, becoming one of the better two-way players in the league.
I agree. And I would also want to give a shout out to Derek White for that huge, huge
Oh
three-pointer
yeah, that stretch, yeah.
that was able to, I think, was it to tie or put us out? I think it was to put us up. I can't remember it. Could be
Mm,
to tie. Regardless, it was a huge, huge shot that he
yeah,
took in the corner. JB was able to absorb three, in fact, four defenders after he, crossed Miles Turner up,
yeah.
went to the paint, kicked it out. He had three options. He could kick it to JT, he can kick it to Drew at the top of the key,
Hmm.
or he can kick it to Derek White in the corner. And
Hmm.
Derek White loved those catch and shoot
Hey, and
opportunities.
who do you believe in though? I'm
I
just
believe
saying.
in Derek White.
Who did he believe?
Jason
He believed
Tatum
in
has
Derek
not
White.
been that
Right,
great from
right.
three this
He saw him in the
season,
corner
not
of his
even the
eye. He was like,
series.
yeah, he saw him in the corner of his eye. He was like, let me go to White. That
I
White
felt
been
like
more
that was
efficient.
the best choice.
It
And
was.
that choice paid off.
It did.
Even when Jason Tatum missed, I believe, on his three-point attempt,
Hmm.
Drew Holiday coming in, crashing the boards and getting that late rebound, kicking it back out to Jalen Brown throwing into air, and the time ran out, and we were able to come off the court as champions in
Hmm.
the Eastern Conference. That is team effort. That is people actually putting their blood, sweat, and tears into the game and really focusing on it. And I thought that they did an excellent job
Hmm.
at late quarter play.
Yeah.
That's something the Celtics not really were known for in seasons past. And they talked about it in post-game interview.
Yeah.
They said, everybody try to hold us to, prior seasons. But what else are we supposed to hold you to? This
Hmm.
is a new season. We got to use empirical data to kind
Yeah.
of make an assumption as to how you play. But they've actually stepped up and shown themselves to be a late quarter execution
It's
team.
great to see. It's about time. Who do you credit it to?
I gotta give it to Joe Mazzulla, even though I don't want to.
Yeah,
I
I
gotta give it
know,
to him.
man. Nobody likes that guy, man. I think his personality just throws all y'all off.
It's not
Because he don't
fun.
care. He don't care what the fans think. He don't care what the media thinks. His
No.
dude is on his own world. But you gotta respect that too, Kyle, because he's so passionate about just the game.
Mhm.
Like all outside noise is gone, man. And I think, man, that type of focus is important. I mean, it's essential
Mhm.
for situations like this, man, especially in game situations or, making the right adjustments, man, or, second guessing yourself. This dude, I've never seen him look like he was second
Rattle.
guessing anything,
Yeah,
rattle. This dude
that's
is
true.
always calm demeanor. I'm good.
And I like that even though he's a stubborn coach, in my opinion,
Incredibly. Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
not too stubborn because he learned from his mistakes at
Hmm.
not calling timeouts last season and early this season. He insisted on,
Hmm.
we don't call timeouts. They'll need to figure it out on the floor. That's
Yeah.
stupid. That doesn't make any sense,
It does.
especially when you know they need
It
either need a
doesn't.
blow or they're flustered
Right.
or they don't know what they're doing out there. Call a timeout, and he's actually done that.
Right.
And like you watch basketball enough, you know when a timeout is coming. And when I hear that whistle blow, I'm like, oh, that's beautiful
Oh,
sound to my ears
like some
because
melody.
I
It's sweet
never heard
melody.
these things before. They just kept pushing. So
And
I
it's
really, really think that was essential.
and it's wild that he had put so much trust into Tatum and Brown because those were the ones getting the ball in those
Right.
late situations.
Yes.
You expect
Yes.
them to make a decision when historically it has shown that they don't make the best decisions going down the stretch like that. We need
Yeah.
to play. We
That
need to play.
turnover game was always
Oh my
pretty
gosh.
high. Jalen
Especially
Brown
for
only had
Brown.
three. He only had three this game.
That though.
Tatum had five, though.
By the way, can we talk about how Brown's been working on his left?
This left. I think they said he's
What?
going left like 54.7% of the time
Because
now
they was
and
talking
being
about him over the summer.
successful with it.
They're like,
Come
yeah,
on,
so
man.
good.
He's been working on his game. That up
Yeah,
and under, he just added that to his bag because usually
yeah,
he's a
yeah,
turn away, fade away, kind of like
yeah.
an MJ fade away.
Hmm.
He used to do that and he used to have this ability to stay in the air for a long time. And he
Yeah,
still has it. But now he understands that if they know that that's your game, and they think he's going to go
man.
far with that fadeaway, let me tuck under. Let me just
Yo,
lay
he
this
he
up
been
for the
working
floor.
with Hakeem Olajuwon on that footwork, man. I don't know who he
Man,
been
and
working.
lethal shooter. I've actually seen him working with lethal shooter on
I
his
saw
shot,
that.
and I've
I saw
seen that
that.
actually improve ever since he's done that.
His efficiency
So
has been better. Let's talk about it.
I want to
Tatum might need to work with
thoroughly,
lethal shooter.
man, he has a hitch in his shot. I don't know if you see it, but it gives me
Dude,
that
it's
Lonzo Ball type of hitch.
he looks like a factory worker who's getting some off the line and he's throwing it up
Yes.
to a
And he
coworker. It's like,
chucking
yo,
like a
what is
cement brick, like a
what
cinder block,
it
and it's a little
looks
wind up.
right. It looks like it's easy to block. Like if I was a shorter player, what I
Just
usually
swipe
do too,
down.
people who bring it down like here, I'm
Just
putting my
swipe
hand all
down.
day. All day.
Just
Let me
swipe
get that. Let,
down.
let me holler at that. And bro, it looks like it looks like a windup that takes like 10 seconds to do.
It does.
That's why he needs to create so much space pushing off of that step.
Yeah.
He has to do that side step back so
Hmm.
they can't get it. Because he can't
Yes.
pull up in front of people like that because the ball is right here. It's,
It
it's,
really is at his
it's at the
navel.
midsection. Like, bro, what? Oh, man. I don't know
I
who.
agree. And it's funny because that hitch has not changed.
Nah,
Jalen Brown's
not for
hitch
nobody.
also kind of hasn't changed, but at least he's getting more
He gets it right
arc
there at
on
the
his shot.
chest, right? But he'll get at his
Yes, he'll
chest.
catch at the chest, he'll
Yeah,
shoot.
yeah,
And when
yeah.
he shoots, he hesitates a little bit at
Just
the
a tad
top,
bit. Yeah,
just at the top. So if you are a long defender or a high jumper or a
you
good
can get that.
defender, you
Yeah,
may be able to get that
yeah, yeah,
shot
yeah.
because he doesn't have a quick release like Stephen Curry or anything like that.
No.
So I only, but his hitch is fine. At least you're taking it from the chest up. Jason
Hmm.
Tatum takes it from his navel up, and I feel as though that windup is throwing him off a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not, it's funny, Tyson. I don't trust when he shoots the ball right now.
It
Is that
never
a,
looks like it's going
is
to go
it,
in.
it
It
doesn't
looks like
look
it actually
pure. It doesn't look like it's gonna,
hurts to put it. Like, like
Yes.
it's a struggle. Like, why is it such a
Yes.
struggle for you to shoot? It doesn't look like anybody's normal shooting form at
I
all. It
haven't
looks
seen
like
anyone that
he's
shoots like
forcing
that.
it up. It looks like it's frustrating to shoot.
Right.
That's what it looks like. And it looks
Yes.
like he's pushing through. It man, it doesn't like he's never had like a shooter's touch to me. It's never
Correct.
because it's always look like it's it's a force. You know how smooth Steph Curry shot looks.
Yes.
You know, it's just smooth, comes off the feet
Hmm.
just right. It just looks like it looks like Tatum
He's
grunts
a
every time he's
he's a
uh,
full body
that's
shooter.
a fool.
And if you a
He
full body
using the strength
shooter,
from his ankles all the way up to his arms.
he
I
just
could.
getting exhausted, just trying to get his shot off. That's
That's why he
wild
be
right
so
there.
tired going back on the other side of the
That's
court.
why you do so many deadlifts. You got to
Right.
get like full body before he get those shots up. But I don't want
Yeah,
to rag on him too much because he's obviously done his thing. He's done a great job in this
yeah.
series. Kudos to the Boston Celtics. Kudos to Coach Joe
Shout out.
Mazzulla
Y'all
for
did y'all
finally
thing.
taking them to the
About time.
finals for his first time. Youngest head coach in the league to bring somebody to the finals, NBA finals, and we're going to talk about that more as far as
Mm-hmm.
matchup is concerned. But
Yeah.
before we get there, because we were a little bit premature,
Mm,
the Minnesota
mm,
Timberwolves
mm.
actually upset a sweep in Dallas City by beating the Dallas Mavericks 105 to 100. Now the series is 3-1. And I have much to say. Tyson, what did you see? What did you like? Because this is your
Man,
team.
I thought it was an absolute wrap, man. And it looked like it for most of the game. Like they started off strong, but then you just saw, oh, man, just how how efficient the Mavs are with moving the ball and making the right play. To be honest, man, like the Mavs. I don't think it was the Wolves that really beat them. The Mavs just weren't making open 3-point shots.
Yep.
But I will say what the Wolves did, which was better, they clogged up the paint. Their paint
Mhm.
presence and their effort in the paint was a lot better, especially on defense. They were going for those rebounds, and yeah, they forced everything outside. Like even with the shooting, I think they made the Mavs shoot 43s. And they only
Mhm.
made 14 of them. They're 35% from the three-point range. So that was good pushing them out the paint. And I think that
Right.
was an effect of Lively not being there. But I think with what they did do, special defense, which I gotta commend them for, they weren't letting, especially on the pick and roll with Luca, they weren't letting the roller get all the way to the basket. The weak
Right.
side, what I was saying in the last podcast, the weak side was coming over and preventing them, getting them at the free throw line, preventing them from going over for the alley oop. So I mean that the strategy on defense, they switched it up and it worked. It worked out for him,
Yeah.
man. Um,
But you're not talking about the Anthony Edwards effect. Where's you got to talk about your boy Ant, man, because
my boy,
he had 29 points in
he's
the
doing his
game,
thing.
yo. All
But
right, he wasn't great from the three, but
no,
he
he
was
wasn't.
hooping.
But my boy Cat finally showed up. Dude showed up finally
Yes, he
for
did.
a game this series. You can't claim to be the best shooting big man
Right.
and go 0 for 8 for a game. So I'm glad he finally showed up. He was very efficient this game. This dude,
He was saving it.
25 points, 9 for 13.
4 for 5 from three.
4 for 5 for the three. So he finally showed up. But you know the difference with this, Kyle. With Cat, you see how he started off? He started off driving to the paint first. That's
Yes.
what gets him into his flow.
Yeah.
Driving into the paint, posting up. Let me see a few shots go in from inside, then let me pull it back.
Yes. Well, Cat, shout out to Cat. Cat makes me laugh. Cat is one of those people. He's a
They
character
do a
in and
funny
of
guy.
himself. But highlights for him. Great offense, much needed because they weren't getting much production from the
Ah,
bench on the Timberwolves side. I think they only had about 14 points off the bench.
yeah,
Nas Reed with only six. And Nas Reed really balls out when he plays. So
he
it was
does.
really crucial that Cat actually came through in the
Yeah.
clutch, hitting those four threes when he did. Because I don't really feel as though they were anywhere else aside from Mike Conley, that you were going to actually pull points from,
You couldn't go anywhere
and
else, man.
you couldn't.
It's
So
not like you're gonna
Cat
go
really stepped
Gobert
up.
on the post up.
We're gonna get to Gobert in a second, but we're gonna keep it with Cat for now. Cat was
Uh,
shooting basically quote unquote. This is Cat's version of lights out. He was lights out in Cat's eyes,
yeah.
because it was necessary. I think that, on the downside, his defensive IQ is very poor.
Oh,
I
horrible,
don't
man.
even know
He
if his offensive
three
IQ is
stupid
high.
fouls. Like
Wasn't it like two in
unbelievably
the first
stupid
quarter,
fouls.
just reaching in for
Like
no reason,
for
over the back for
no
no
reason.
reason? Why would you
Like
jump at that three? If Luca had been, what, 4 for 11 for the game, he wasn't shooting well. Just contest. You don't have to
but you
jump into
jumping
him.
for that far out anyway when you
And
that
then you're gonna get
close.
mad. Listen, let Luca be the one who complains to the referees every time he comes down the court.
Come on,
Luca
man.
has this death stare for every referee. As soon as he misses, he wants to
Every
stare them down. It's
single
frustrating.
time. It's the most frustrating thing I've seen
I
in the
can't deal with
NBA,
it.
man.
But let that be
So
Luca's
irritating.
job. You don't need to now complain to the ref about who, me, what, me, what, why. What
Especially
he
when you
did,
read, especially
he's
bro,
not doing what he's supposed to do, Tyson. Go ahead.
especially when you reaching. Like I could see if they kept beating you off of the dribble, but Cat is one of the. I will say for Cat, he's one of the best big men to be able to shift his feet, move
Yes.
laterally.
Mhm.
So he's keeping up with them, but for some reason he keeps swiping. Why you
Yes.
keep swiping? You tall enough to contest the shot.
He
Like
is.
what you doing swiping, man? All these unnecessary, stupid fouls. Like the one where he tried to draw the foul. That's not, they were saying in the they were saying, bro. The announcer was trying to say that's a normal shooting motion. That's
That is
no,
not a
it is.
normal shooting motion. That's a
That was
90-degree
terrible. This
angle.
dude threw
It
his
was
elbow into the
this.
dude's
It
face.
was a 90-degree
I'm
angle.
like,
Who
bro, this
shoots
you
like
can't
that?
even flop right. You gonna fly? That's not. It's this dude. Sometimes, man, I think Gobert is rubbing off on him because he just be so uncoordinated sometimes.
Yes.
He just dudes like, man, what are you doing out here? And
It's
I know it
frustrating.
frustrates the mess out of Edwards because, like you said, who else are the points going to come from?
Right.
Cat has to show up. Without Cat, they're not winning
There
really
is,
anything, man.
if
They
Cat
can't.
doesn't score 25 or more, I don't think they could ever win
They
this
can't.
series at all.
No.
And keep in mind, this was a bad game from the Dallas Mavericks.
Yes.
Kyrie Irving was 1 for 6 from three. He only had 16 points in the game,
Yep.
6 for 18 overall in his field goal attempts.
Yeah.
He didn't play well. Do
Not
you
at
know
all.
Kyrie Irving to turn the ball over? He had 4 turnovers. That's
That's
not
not Kyrie.
average Kyrie Irving
Not at
play.
all.
So he was off. It's interesting because Kyrie Irving said at the beginning, he said, "This is their Super Bowl. It's just another game for us."
Yeah,
So
that
I don't
was
think he took that
he didn't take it
seriously. He
seriously,
didn't care
man.
about closing out
That's a
as much
problem.
as they cared about
That's a
surviving.
problem,
And
though.
so
Don't give him
Luca
hope.
was out there basically trying to do it him, quote unquote himself, but he
Yeah.
obviously had some help off the bench because I don't know where Jaden Hardy came from because he
By the
had
way,
13
by the
points.
way, who is
Where
this
he
cat?
come from?
Like, wait, no, I
I,
was watching the game. Like, wait, who is this
who
guy?
is
At
who?
first,
I was like, is this
I had to look close.
McBride
I was
from
like,
the
was that
Knicks?
Kyrie who doing it? No,
No.
that's that Hardy.
I was
Yo,
like, this guy
yo,
came out of nowhere.
bro, out of nowhere. So I had to look this dude up. I actually pulled up his little playoff stats, and it's crazy because the more time they actually give him, the more he's been balling out. Back when they
Yeah,
were playing the Clippers, they gave him 5 minutes. He had 14 points. And
yeah.
then I say 1 minute, 25 seconds, 2 minutes. But then this series, they gave him 11 minutes. He gave him eight
Hmm.
points. 11 minutes, they give him 7 points. This
Yeah.
past game, they gave him 12 minutes, 13 points. I'm like,
He's
yo,
basically
this,
the
I was a
Andrew
coach.
Nemhard of the Dallas
Real
Mavericks.
talk.
Give him time and he gonna go off.
Out of nowhere, dude. I'm like, yo, this dude, did they just pull him out the G League right before the playoffs? I'm like, dude, where did this dude come from? I'm like, all
But
right.
here's another question. How badly, speaking of the bench, do they miss Derek Lively?
Oh, that's oh man. Yo, that is a huge, but you saw it, man, especially their points in the paint, the rebounds, man. Now Gafford is doing his thing with some blocks
Yeah.
and everything, but yo, the tenacity on defense, man, the rolls, how quickly, Lively is able to roll to the basket, being in the right place at the right time, man, the effort, man, I think it's just the youth that he has, man, just as active as he is on the boards, man, being able to read what Luca is doing, be able to float, man, it's big. And I heard, man, he's actually questionable for game 5. They get him back in game 5, man. I think it's a wrap.
I
Now
think
I
it
will
might
say,
be.
well, we'll go to predictions later, but
No, hey, I only wanted to say one more thing because
yeah,
Gafford actually did play really well. Six
he
for
did
six.
his
He
thing.
didn't miss. He
Yeah,
had 3 blocks in this game. So
6 for 6.
he played extremely well. He wasn't just a lob threat, but he was
Yeah,
actually a rebounding, blocking,
he's doing his thing.
defensive threat as well.
Yeah.
So I saw some really good things from him. It's just that Lively seems to gel more with a Luka Kyrie kind of match
Yep.
as opposed to Gafford. So I can see where they missed Lively being able to
Hmm.
basically hustle for more rebounds in that because I think he would have given them about a good 6 to 10 himself
Oh yeah,
by
easy,
himself.
easy. That's the
Gafford
game
had
right there.
8. You're right.
That's the
If you
game.
had it was a rebounding game for
Hmm.
sure. It was a rebounding game. It was just an ugly game. Just a
It was
lot of
ugly.
bricks,
Oh,
a lot of
right,
missed
bro.
shots,
And that's
man.
what I'm saying, man. Like the Mavs, this is one of their worst games, and it was still close.
It was.
It was still close. And I'm like, man, the Timberwolves just really can't generate what, and it's odd, especially considering what they did in previous playoff games. They're not able to generate. There's a lot of offense, man, putting up a lot of shots. But I think that comes from, like you said, the efficiency. Now, what I did see is different. What they really need to do more often are these pick and rolls with Cat and Gobert. It seems to be very efficient. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Gobert comes up the screen, Cat comes over the pick, Gobert rolls to the screen, and he's throwing it over the top. He could shoot the three, throw it over the top to Gobert, or he can drive.
Okay.
And it's been efficient. Either way, you have a matchup. You're not going to have Gafford and Lively in there at the same time. So it's a
Hmm.
mismatch. Either whoever's rolling, it has a mismatch in the post, or whoever has up top, which is probably going to be Cat, can drive on the smaller guy. But I think who this would work. What I have not seen, if you do a pick and roll with Cat and Reed, that would be off the chain.
I would prefer that because the way that I've seen Gobert play basketball, it makes me question
No.
why is he in the
Oh
game
my gosh.
sometimes.
Oh,
Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. I
oh,
would never want Gobert to put the ball on the floor. Even
at
when
any
he
time.
rolls to the rim, I'm
At any
like,
time.
he doesn't know how to lay up.
You
You
know,
know
it's
how sketchy those
it's oh
layups
my
are when
goodness.
he's trying to lay
None
up.
of the layups, unless it's a dunk, the layups never look like they're going in.
Tyson, he
He has no
finger
English on the
rolled.
ball. It looks so flat going
Did you
up.
see the finger roll when he came down?
It's-
It was so awkward.
he almost flipped the ball back up.
Right, like
That's like,
I
what
was
is
like,
this?
I need you to dunk
Yeah,
always because
every single
I
time.
am very
Every
nervous
single
when he
time. Yeah.
tried to lay up the ball. So
Yo,
I don't need him diving. I don't need him rolling.
nothing.
I
Man.
don't even know if he should be out there more than I
Yeah.
would. I would if this is me, Tyson, and of course it's late. They're gonna probably lose the whole series if we're
Yeah,
being
most
honest with
likely. Most
ourselves.
likely.
I would actually start Nas Reed out there.
Off the break. Why are we
I'll
not doing
put
this?
Cat on Gafford, and I'll take Nas Reed with Lively if necessary. If Lively comes back,
Yep.
and let's see that because there's more motion,
Yep.
there's ability to score inside and outside better.
Inside
And I
and
do
out.
think that their defensive IQ of Nas Reed may not have the blocking ability of
Yeah,
Rudy Gobert,
bro.
but his defensive IQ when the ball is taken down low, because Kyrie loves the ball down
He
low and
does.
then he do his thing, he still get shifty. I think that would be a better
Most definitely.
starting 5 than for Gobert to clog up the
all
paint,
day.
mess up the spacing, and you don't know if he's going to be able to catch the ball when you throw it in or lay up the ball when he got it.
Man,
That's just me though. I don't know. Maybe
by
I'm
the way,
just
I've
saying
I've never
foolishness.
seen a big man with butterfingers like this in my life. Like
Yeah,
this,
Kendrick Perkins. I know what
him,
Kendrick Perkins was. Trust
every
me.
time it's thrown to him, it seems like he's not going to catch it. He is
Yes.
always fumbling the ball. Every time he gets that mug, he fumbles it. Like he doesn't know what to do with it. Like, first of all, he looks like he's surprised that he got it. Like, why are
Yes.
you surprised, first of all, that you got it? Then it doesn't look like he has a good hold on it. It always looks like the defense is going to take it away from him. If he
Yes.
ever brings it down below his head,
It's a wrap.
most likely it's going to be snatched.
It's a
It's going to be
wrap.
snatched. Like he has, like there's like I think the first 5 minutes, this dude they had two passes straight to him. One I think went out of bounds, and the
Hmm.
other one he fumbled all over the place. Two great passes, by the way.
Hmm.
Like you have to throw it gently to Gobert. You
You
can't throw
do.
a fireball in there,
You
bro.
can
You
do that. You can
you
be
can,
doing gentle passes in the playoffs, especially
that's
for
what
the
I'm
Western
saying, though.
Conference
How do you even
Finals.
get it to the guy?
I'm
Like
just
he's
saying,
there. Like he's there. I know the most frustrating part, especially for Conley and Edwards, is seeing him roll or seeing him box out a little guy up under the basket, but second guessing passing because he might not catch the rock.
yes. That's actually who
That's
Rudy Gobert is at this point. I won't take away from his 13 points that he scored. He was
he
what
did.
4 for 5, and he got 5 for 9 from the free throw line. He's actually pretty fairly reliable from the free throw line as well. Um,
He
but
missed two
the
clutch shots though.
way he scored them was really just showcasing that maybe sometimes it might be a better idea to use a different center. In this case, Nasri,
That
sixth
though.
man of the year. He's that
Hmm.
for a reason.
Hmm.
But I want to get real quick before we get to predictions to Luca. What did you see from Luca? Because Luca didn't play poorly. He had 28 points and he had a 4 point play at the end of,
Triple double.
shot clock winding down at the end of regulation,
Hmm.
where I think it was either Cat and Ant or was it Ant and Rudy? Regardless, came down, fouled him on the 3 point
Bro,
play, boom, knocked it
why are
down.
you even why are
I
you even
don't
trying to
know.
swing at
Stats
the
matter
ball
for a
in those?
reason.
It's
Like
ridiculous, man.
just
What are y'all doing?
contest. You ain't got to do all of that.
You ain't gotta
But
do all that.
what did you think about it? He was 10 for 12 on the free throw line. So he actually sunk most of
Yeah,
his
he was doing his
free throws,
thing.
except he did miss crucial ones.
Yeah,
But he was 7 for 21 from the
yeah,
field.
yeah.
So I felt as though he was kind of thrown off because of the added pressure
Most
from
definitely. He
Ant
saw
on
bodies
him.
around him. Yeah,
Yes. I
yeah.
felt as though that's actually threw him off a bit because he's gonna
Hmm.
get his shot off. It just wasn't dropping. But
Right.
maybe I saw something different. What did you see?
No, that's exactly right, man. I'm with that all day. It's what I said last time. You gotta consistently put bodies around him, man. Make him second guess. Now he was making some incredibly accurate passes. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And that's why I was saying you gotta make the others beat you. Make every single other. You can't let him get into his flow. You can't let Kyrie get into his flow. Now they're gonna do their thing regardless, but if you try to do everything you can do to contain them and try and make the others beat you, you'll have a much better chance of getting that dub, man. But the Wolves, man, they have to find more ways of generating more offense, man. I think the pick and roll with the bigs, I think that would be great. I think putting Nasrid and Cat out on the floor at the same time will be incredibly beneficial, especially for Anthony Edwards, because it's going to bring the big man out the paint and he's going to be able to work on the inside. Because they no nobody 101 can guard Ant-Man. He's going to get to the
Yes.
rack every time.
Yeah.
You know what I
He
mean?
has.
So
He's shown himself to be that for sure.
yeah.
So what do you think then? This is going to be game 5 coming up tomorrow.
So I will say, man, if Lively comes back, man, they're gonna have a rough time. If they don't switch up strategies on offense, if they consistently leave Gobert out there for long periods of time, if they don't have knives, especially if they don't do pick and roll with the big man, I don't see them winning, man. that they
Mm.
have to consistently run those same plays with the big man or have Nas Reed and Cap out there at the same time, to, efficiently get some buckets out there. But if they do that, I see them winning game five. If they don't, it's a wrap, man. But I will say, if they win game five, it's going to be a game seven.
Whoa.
Mhm.
This ain't going past six,
Mm.
Tyson. And this ain't going
It
past
is.
six at
Tell me
all.
that confidence, that swag. What did Anthony Edwards tell Michael Parsons?
You gonna
He's
bring
gonna be
them
bringing him
shoes?
some nice shoes for game six.
Yeah, that's fine. He
Mhm.
go he, in
Coming
his
back through.
imaginary game six, sure. Or even if he gets there, he's going to deliver them, but there ain't gonna be no games. There,
Man,
I don't see this going to no 7 games. No, no, no,
if
no.
if they win this next game, they win game five.
It's gonna be a game 7.
Going game seven.
Your mouth to God's ears, Tyson. I'm gonna actually say they're gonna close it out. I don't see them winning game 5, so it's a wrap. I think that the Dallas Mavericks are going to win the next game and take it to the finals. I don't really see much that they can do. You can only have a bad shooting night so often.
Yeah, yeah.
If all your pieces are playing up to their highest standard, which
Mhm.
I think Ant played to his great standard. Cat played to his best.
Yeah,
Even Rudy, my
all time.
goodness, Rudy even played his best games.
Finger
Even
rolling
though
that
I
thing, man.
thought
He learned it from
finger
Cat. Uh,
rolling, that's that French roll. So
did you
if
say that?
Rudy Gobert
Did you
out here
say it?
giving you that's the French roll. He giving you them
He
French
baked it up,
buckets,
served it
man.
to
So if he did that and they only won by 5 and Luca and Kyrie weren't playing their
I
best
know
from
that's
inside
tough.
the arc
That's
or
tough.
even Kyrie outside the arc, I don't
Yeah.
see this happening twice. I don't. So I see them. Dallas Mavericks are going to close it out in game 5 tomorrow at
Mm.
7:30 Central. That's what I think.
Who do you want to see in the finals? Who do you think your Celtics have a better chance of beating?
Mavericks for
Okay,
sure.
so that's why you asked.
For
Yeah,
sure.
so you gonna be
That's
rooting
the
for these
matchup.
boys in game five. Go, Luca.
I low key want that because I'm like, I think we have a better chance with the Mavs than we have with the Timberwolves because the Timberwolves are too fast, too athletic. They have too many bigs
Mm-hmm.
just around. Just even if they aren't doing
Yeah,
anything, I feel as though there's too
y'all
many
ain't got no
bigs.
bigs for real.
Their
And Porzingis
defensive
not a defensive
IQ
player. Yeah.
is right. Their defensive IQ though is so high.
Mhm.
Jaden McDaniels. They didn't play my man Alexander
No, man.
Walker. They
No,
had him
only
what,
12
13
minutes.
minutes?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no, they didn't play him enough. I
they
maybe he
didn't.
just wasn't producing. They didn't see something that we didn't see, or they saw
Hmm.
something that we didn't see. But anyway, between AO, Nasri, I still have to give it to Rudy Gobert in the paint. And when he's actually focusing on defense,
Yeah.
Jaden McDaniels. Oh my goodness, there's too many defensive like stoppers there. And we don't have necessarily the professional clutch players in Kyrie and Luca. Um, so where we would be able to match up well with that. But because we can play just as good defense with the Mavericks, but we have a better offensive skill set from several different players, from Derek White to Jalen Brown to Jason Tatum to Drew Holiday to even Al Horford when he's ready. I
Hmm.
think, I'm my bad.
Big
Kristaps
up. He
Porzingis.
was chilling.
Come
Oh,
on, man.
Horford was chilling last game. I thought you were talking
Oh
about
yeah, no.
Horford.
Horford,
Yeah,
he did what he had to
he
do. He
relaxed. He let
rested.
the others do it. I guess his knees finally got to him after a long
But
series,
if
man.
you got the unicorn back with that type
By
of
the way,
skill, dog,
yes, yes, it's a
I
problem.
want that matchup. It'll be a better matchup for us.
It
So
would.
I look forward to that, and I think that that's going to happen sooner rather than later for the Dallas Mavericks to get some rest because
Yeah.
finals do start June 6th, and
June 6th, right
I'm
around the
excited
corner.
about it, Tyson. We're going to see what happens in game 5. That's coming again tomorrow. That would be tomorrow, May 30th, 7:30 Central. We're going to
Uh,
see if the Timberwolves would be able to scratch and eke out
I'm
another
on my
game.
wise.
But that's all
Yes.
that we have for you today.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
again for watching the Clutch Buckets podcast. My
Appreciate
name is
y'all.
Kyle Spence.
Josh Dyson.
Be sure to comment, like, share, and subscribe. We'd love to hear from you. And we're out.
We up
Peace.
out of here. Till next time.